This is a video about silly sentences and how to make them. So I've got 4 lists here: who, what, where, and when. Now, I ended up having to cut them up because I didn't write them in the correct order. So that's why I've cut these up. But if you're making your own sheet, use your own words and put them in this order so you don't have to cut them up, okay? So we've got lists of who. So who did something? I, my mum, my dad, my brother, my sister, uncle, auntie, cousin, granny, granddad, friend, and then I got the silly ones down here: Batman, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, and then I put other ones down the very bottom here, just squeeze them in: he, she, you, we, and they. So these could be your sentence starters as well. Okay, and what did they do? So who did it was this one. What did they do? Well, I went. So if you went somewhere, okay. I played. My dad saw something. My uncle ran. My auntie walked. My cousin skipped. And up here I have my brother and sister. Now, obviously, we can name them. If we know their names, we can just use their names. So you can just replace my brother with Paul or Sally, whatever their name is. Okay, so we've got a list of things here: walked, skipped, jumped, made, painted, laughed, kicked. You make your own list. If you want to add some other good ones or other silly ones, that's fine, okay? Now, so who did it and what did they do? Here's where. Where is always an important one for a sentence. Where did they do it? Where was it happening? So my brother skipped in the garden. So there are extra little words that fit in between these so they make sense. He couldn't write a sentence that just had brother skipped garden. Okay, that wouldn't make sense. We need small little words to go in between them. So my brother skipped in the garden. Okay, it could have been my auntie jumped over the cinema. Okay, remember I said they're silly sentences. My granny painted in the forest. Okay, these are just practicing the words, practicing how to create a sentence, practicing your finger spaces and all those things. Okay, so we've got green. I put here green. Sometimes boys and girls call the bit of grass on their road their green, so that's what I put there. Played football on my green. So I played on my green, or I played football on my green. Okay, so you have to add in the word football there. So I didn't include all the words. So we've got school, Clare Hall, beach, forest, river, sea, plane. So sure, if you're up in a plane and you did something, remember they're silly sentences. You can do whatever you want. Now the last one is when. When did you do this? Or when did your friend do this? Or your granddad? Or your granny? When? So I've put in the word Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So those are the days of the week that you know. And then we've got the times of the day. We've got morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Or you could do there's the word after. So you could say after my breakfast, after my dinner. So you need to add those words. And if you don't know how to spell them, just try your best to sound them out. Okay, that's what we're trying to practice here. So on the last ones, I just put in other ideas. So spring, summer, autumn, and winter. They're the seasons of the year: spring, summer, autumn, winter. And we're just coming into spring now, so the weather's going to be getting a little bit warmer. Okay, so what do you do with these sentences? What do you do with these lists? You make sentences. So I'm going to just move them up here, and just wrote one sentence earlier there. So finger spaces, you start with a capital letter, I. This one's about me. I went to the park on Tuesday. So I, and then I chose went, and then I chose park, to the park. And when did I go? I went on Tuesday, so I chose Tuesday. So I'm going to try a different one now. I'm going to go for, not I, because I don't want to always be writing about myself. Okay, I want to choose somebody else. Okay, I'm going to say my. Don't worry if you don't know how to do the capital M yet. Just try your best. My cousin. Oh, finger space. Cousin. Billy. Made. What did he make? Made. Kite. He made a kite. Now I'm just making this one up. This isn't on the list, so it's just something you can make up. Made a kite. Where did he make the kite? Let's pick somewhere. Silly. Made a kite in the cinema. Now, can you picture him making a kite in the cinema? It's a bit of an unusual sentence, isn't it? A bit of a silly sentence. Cinema, and it's a soft C, cinema. Okay, and I'll do one more now, and I'll go for maybe one of the sillier ones down here. So we'll go for Spider-Man. So I start with the capital S because his name, or it's the start of a sentence, but also it's his name. Spider-Man. Spider-Man, what did he do? Cycled. Because it's not often you see Spider-Man cycling, is it? He usually flies around with his web. Spider-Man cycled to the beach. To the beach. Oh, do you know what? Look, I forgot to tell you when he went to the cinema there. So Spider-Man cycled to the beach. I'm gonna go for on Saturday. Evening. On Saturday evening. So you can use two of those words. And actually that reminds me, I can put yesterday as a word there. So yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, yesterday night. Yesterday night, we put last night. Last night. So those are some extra words you might try. So I'd be recommending 3 of those each day. So they get the idea of the capital letter, the finger spaces, and the full stop at the end. Capital letter to start, finger spaces in the middle, full stop at the end. And as I was saying, just make your own. You could pause at the start when I had the lists clear. Copy mine, make up your own. Doesn't matter. Go for it. Enjoy.